it's just a mess. We're losing all sense of cool, which we'd maintained our composure the entire way, and that was a breaking point.
Gina!
In digging through all of his cards, I see the prayer card that has the St. Christopher prayer. And that's when just too many loose ends were tied at that point, that St. Christopher is the patron saint of travelers. And I had been praying to St. Christopher my whole way along. His penmanship was very much like my father's, and my dad's birthday was May 7th. And it's just all kind of coming to a head at that point. I can't take it. It's too much. And Brandon is continuing to read, and I'm starting to freak out. At that point, I took his bag and I gathered up everything I could. I gathered up his glasses, his shoes, his jacket, because in my mind, that's somebody's dad. And somebody's dad didn't come home. And it was just important to me that any of his family have his things. I can't think of anything but getting the hell out of there.
Gina, wait! Gina, wait, stop! Gina!
It's just a mess. We're losing all sense of cool, which we'd maintained our composure the entire way, and that was a breaking point.
Gina!
And, Brandon came up and grabbed me and just kind of said, breathe. Just breathe and settle. We have to settle. And, just that look in his eye, I knew that he was afraid for me. And we kind of just took a moment to maybe try to gather ourselves a little bit. And all you can hear is this rush of water.
For Gina and Brandon, the horror story they find themselves in is unrelenting.
Listen.
What?
Listen.
Again, the water gets us every time.
Listen, that's a waterfall.
Come on.
So we get closer. We make our way back around some big trees that were close to the water, make our way around. And that's where we see the gorge that John had talked about. And we're stuck. We're completely stuck. He had the maps, he had the compass, he had everything, and he couldn't get out. So how the hell are we? Clearly, looking back upstream, what we had just come down, there's no way we can get back up it. We had jumped down so many boulders and trees that there's no way we can climb back up. To our left was straight, sheer rock walls, and to our right, it was a bowl. It made a big, giant bowl. To know that something so beautiful was so dangerous, it's just so hard to put into words. That feeling of seeing all this tremendous beauty and I'm stuck.
We see what he'd written about. There's about 140, 150 foot waterfall and no way to get around it. we're at an impasse. Now what? We can't, at this point, it's sinking in, we can't walk our way out.
They thought that following the river would be their escape route. Instead, it's led them into a trap. Now, after 2 days struggling against fear, they're losing the battle.
And at that point, we knew we were not getting out. There's no way. There's no way we can get out. This man was prepared. He had everything he needed. We were not prepared for anything. We just had on our running shoes. We had chapstick, a digital camera, sunscreen, and running shoes. And this man was prepared, and he couldn't get out. It's very defeating, very defeating.
But the missing hiker, John Donovan, has left Brandon and Gina a lifeline.
Yes. Matches. Think they still work?
I don't know how we missed it. That throughout all of his things, bag inside a bag, inside a bag, inside a bag, he had another little bag of wouldn't strike anywhere matches that were still dry. By some miracle, they were still dry. And we decided, okay, let's start making fire.
What's that noise?
Fire?
No, that.
What?
That's a helicopter.
It's the waterfall. No, it's the waterfall.
That's a helicopter.
Hey!
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 The young couple have no idea whether the helicopter was ferrying tourists or looking for them. Whatever the case, Brandon and Gina may have just missed their only chance of being rescued.
That night, we were alone. It was the one night that we weren't side by side. We slept a good, well, I say slept, but we rested a good 10 to 15 feet away from each other. He did his thing and I did mine. You would think at that point you need each other even more so than you ever would. But we didn't, and I don't understand that. And at that point is when I started to really lose my faith. I lost hope, and I lost faith that we really were gonna get out. At that point, I started letting go, just resigning all hope and accepting it and realizing that it's okay. But I'd spoken to my mom. I had spoken to my sister. I had spoken to my best friend, and I knew it was okay. I had spoken to everyone that I love in the last few days, and it's okay. It's okay that I don't come home.